Happy Monday, everybody. It is the beginning of a brand new week in Raw Food Rehab. It's week 2, but I realized this morning as I was working on the computer and I was looking over, kind of trying to plan out how we're going to approach each week as it comes, and I realized I've been talking about a 10-week experiment, but when I looked at the actual finish date, which is Sunday, August the 16th, we actually have 11 weeks. So if you really had an eventful, uninspiring week during your first week last week, just look at it as today is the first day of the rest of your experiment, because starting today we have 10 weeks. And so I'm pretty stoked about that because, I can sure use an extra week, because last week I was so overwhelmed with, I've never been a webmaster before. I've never ran any kind of a website other than my little blog that I do and my occasional assistance with Bunny on Raw Food. I mean, she's taught me everything I know about, like, how to put the pictures on and how to do the video and how to do the links. I mean, honestly, I didn't know anything. So I'm kind of winging it with you guys. So bear with me, but 2 things that I want to go over today. The first thing I want to tell you is Andrea. Some of you know her. She's one of our guinea pigs here, and it might be Andrea. I'm not sure how she pronounces it, but she's got this incredible red hair. Of course, I kind of like the redheads, but anyway, her deal is she is juice feasting right now. And I'm going to put the link under this video so you can go check out her thread of what she started today. And I love what she's doing. She took a picture of her face, just her really, like, right here, like what you can see of me. She took a still picture when she started this experiment, and she took another picture this morning and has posted those pictures right next to each other. And you go and check her out and see. I mean, I can totally tell a difference in her face. Just in 1 week, she's lost 12 pounds. I mean, obviously, some of that was inflammation, some of that was water retention. An acidic body is going to be bigger. And so she's totally alkalinized her system, and she's been living on nothing but fresh fruit and vegetable juices. Now, I'm certainly not indicating that all of you guys need to go out and go on a juice feast, because for some of you, it's just not feasible. I mean, you're working crazy hours, and, maybe you're a single mom or maybe whatever. I mean, you might not be able to do that. But my whole point of bringing this up is so that you can go to her page and actually visually see the difference. And I can vouch for her because I did a 3-month juice feast last year, and I honestly never felt better in my life. So, I mean, she's inspired me. I'm cranking up the juicer, and I'm going to get really serious about the next 10 weeks because I'm tired of carrying this load around. And I've only got 35 or 40 pounds to lose. So, I mean, you can't go wrong on a juice feast. The only way you can go wrong is by detoxing too quickly. Like if you have hundreds of pounds to lose, maybe 100 or 200 pounds, sometimes going into a juice feast will set your body into a cleansing crisis that you might not be prepared to deal with. I mean, just going raw has already upset the apple cart for some of you all. And so you can see that. So I'm a big believer in taking this at your own pace. So let's say that you all eat a high raw diet for 2 or 3 weeks. You may decide a month from now that you're going to take a 10-day or 7-day period and just do juicing. And I'm not going to high-five you over that. You might want to check with your doctor because, as I've told you, I am not a medical doctor. I found that my medical doctor frowned on me going on a juice feast. But the proof was in my medical results. At the end of my juice feast, I was not anemic. All my blood levels were completely, like, off the charts perfect. So, I mean, I believe in it. And I know a lot of you don't have a juicer, so you may need to wait until you can afford to buy one. Or I'm just going to go ahead and suggest, I mean, I've done this back in my 20s when I really wanted something. Like, I remember I wanted this Norma Kamali dress when I was, like, 21 years old, and that's back when the designer Norma Kamali was huge. And, I mean, it was like a $200 dress, which back in '89 or whenever, that was like a ton of money for me. I went and hocked some jewelry. I just took it to the pawn shop. I also had a flute, but I knew I was never going to play that flute anymore. It was whim that my parents bought a flute for me in high school. I took that stuff to the pawn shop, and I got enough money to buy that dress because that's what was important to me at the time. So just something, I'm just suggesting, you know, if you've got anything of value that you know you're never going to use anymore, maybe you're divorced and you've got an old wedding ring that you just really need to just cut that cord and get that out of your house, take that wedding ring, hawk it, and go buy a juicer. Just saying. Okay, last thing I want to talk about today, and I'm just going to touch on it, is the importance of moving your body. And I've already mentioned this before, and I'm preaching to the choir because I'm not a big exerciser. But your body was designed to move. God made your body to move, however you want to do that. And I think, like, things, for example, like, take the stairs. You know, do not get on an elevator or an escalator unless you're physically disabled. Park your car in the back of a parking lot or, you know, wherever. Don't try to get in there and, you know, if I find out any of you all are parking in a handicap, I'm going to come get you. Don't be doing that. Don't do it unless you have a legitimate issue where you can't walk. Get out there and move your thighs, move your gut. Part of that movement, just walking. I mean, if that's all you do, you can walk. And one of our guys, Jonathan, I think is who it was, talked about in one of the threads getting a pedometer. I mean, I never could figure out how to use it, but pedometer, the goal is to walk 10,000 steps a day. I mean, that's basically 5 miles, people. Back in the old days, everybody used to walk 3, 4, and 5 miles. We're all a bunch of lazy, pitiful, sitting on the couch, eating our whatever we're eating, getting in our car. I mean, we just don't move. And so what happens is your lymph system is congested. And when your lymph system gets congested, you set yourself up for all kinds of disease in your body. And again, I'm preaching to the choir. I just had this procedure done last week. It's called thermography, where they can actually look through this special camera into your body and see where the inflammation is. And she was able to tell me that my lymph system was congested. And so walking, rebounding, yoga, and dry skin brushing, which we'll talk about all those things later, but those are all ways to get your lymph system moving, because we've got to, your heart, your cardiovascular system, your heart is pumping blood through your system all the time. So your blood is going through your liver, and it's constantly being regenerated unless your liver is, you know, totally clogged up, which a lot of ours are. So your blood's recirculating. Well, your lymph system doesn't have a pump like a heart that's flushing. The only way to do it is through exercise and dry skin brushing. Or massage. That's also a really great thing if you can afford it. So that is plenty of information for you guys today. As you can tell, I'm totally jazzed. I mean, Andrea's email, when I saw that, it just reminded me that fresh juices are some of the most important thing that you can add into your day. Even if it's 32 ounces, you know, do that. You don't have to go, you know, full guns and do a juice feast if you're not ready to do that. Put no stress on yourself. Just if you can skip a meal and do green juice and throw some apples in there just to make it sweet, I promise your body is crying for that kind of nutrition. And your body is going to start to look supple, your skin's going to start to change, and you are going to be high-fiving yourself. So I just want to encourage you today, and I will look forward to talking to you all tomorrow.